Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Bayt.com's Career Talk. I'm Hatem, and on this week's episode, I want to speak to you about how recruiters screen cover letters in 30 seconds. Now, why in 30 seconds? Recruiters receive tons and tons of cover letters for every post, sometimes hundreds. They don't have the time to go through them line by line and read everything that you've written there. So they developed ways to go through cover letters and identify the good ones from the bad ones in 30 seconds. So I want to show you how they go about doing that and how you can stand out through your cover letter in 30 seconds or less. And why it's important for you, it's because it gives you a chance to express your writing style, your voice, your aspirations for your career growth, your story in ways that you can't put in a CV. And this is all very important for a recruiter to know. So by learning these 4 tips on how a recruiter screens your cover letter, you learn how to stand out through it in 30 seconds. Number 1, formatting. Now there are many ways that you can create a greatly formatted cover letter, but a bad formatting will stand out through the recruiter. It's a red flag for the recruiter. And why is that? Anytime they see a badly formatted CV or a cover letter, it's a red flag for them because it gives them an impression of your attention to detail, how detail-oriented you are, how neat, how organized you are, and how you represent yourself. The idea is if you're not representing yourself, you're not taking care of the formatting of your cover letter, then that lack of organization, that lack of care will transition into the position they're looking to hire for. So while a great formatted cover letter wouldn't stand out as the perfect candidate for the recruiter, a badly formatted cover letter will stand out as a red flag and they probably will not go ahead with you. So, it's not too hard to do some research into great formatting methods for cover letters. Look for templates. The concept behind it is just to make sure it's easy to read. The formatting is consistent. The margins are aligned. Your personal details are clear. Don't over-stylize the font, bold, italics, don't overdo these things. The idea is you want to communicate your story to the recruiter in an easy-to-read fashion. That isn't necessarily a great visual representation of what you want to do. It needs to be organized, it needs to be clean, neat, and professional. Number 2, generalized statements. Now, recruiters, an extremely big turnoff for recruiters is seeing a cover letter that's clearly written and sent out to all companies. They want to see a cover letter that's tailored for them. So they're experts at seeing the types of wordings that you use that identify that cover letter as being a general one that you've sent to everyone. They want to see that you've put some research into their company, that you've put some research into the position that you're applying to, and you've spent the time to speak to them about how you bring value to that specific position. So avoid writing things like "to your esteemed company" or "I have the skills to match your vacancy." These very non-specific terms are a red flag for recruiters. They don't want to see that type of thing. They want to see you have put the effort in their type of position. You have an interest and passion for what they're doing and how you're bringing value to them. So spend some time, as much as you find templates and formatting examples online of how to write a cover letter, avoid writing one and sending it out to everyone. We've mentioned this before. Spend some time tailoring and customizing your cover letter to the specific vacancies that you're applying to. It shows an interest, it shows a passion, it shows that you've spent the time and effort to research what the company's doing and you're actually interested in that specific vacancy and you're not just sending it out to everyone. Number 3, novels. Avoid writing essays and novels to the recruiter. They don't want to receive a cover letter that's 3 pages long. Now, we've said this a million times before. The most important element for a recruiter, the most important factor is time. This is why they use technologies like Bayt.com in their recruitment process, because it saves them time. And that's what you want to do. You want to align with their objectives. They need to get through the recruitment process as fast as possible and find the right candidate as fast as possible. So from your side, don't write a 3-page cover letter. Keep it to a page's length. You don't want to write more than that. And a page length gives you the opportunity to write enough information about yourself and explain yourself just enough that you can't put in a CV, but in a more conversational tone for the recruiter. But at the same time, don't write too much or too long for it. The recruiter doesn't want to go through all that. They will not go through a 3-page cover letter. So think about what is important to the recruiter. Align with their objectives. What are they looking for? And you'll know this from the job description. And think about what skills and expertise you bring to the table that aligns with what they're looking for. And show them that you know how to prioritize, that you can highlight the key skills that they're looking for and match it with what they're looking for in terms of skill sets. This gives you the opportunity to prioritize and show yourself as someone who's able to prioritize and communicate in an efficient manner. Otherwise, you're just communicating inefficiency to the recruiter, and that's not what they want to see. So keep it to a page's length at most and let the recruiter know what's important to them and highlight your key skills that make you valuable for that position. Number 4, spelling errors. Now this goes hand in hand with bad formatting. Whereas bad formatting can communicate your lack of organization, attention to detail, and how neat you are, spelling mistakes do something else. Now, they show your attention to detail or lack of attention to detail, but at the same time, the danger in seeing spelling mistakes for a recruiter is they'll start thinking about what happens once they hire you for the position. How will you communicate to clients, to senior management? Will you be sending emails and content with spelling mistakes? Now, this ends up being a bad reflection on the organization itself. You might find managers questioning why you were hired for the position. A company doesn't want to go through that. They don't want someone reflecting or putting out an image of a company that's not something that they want. They want to look professional. They want to look like they care about their attention to detail. When writing your cover letter, a great way to check that it's spelled correctly, of course, is spell check. Another way is get someone to read it. And another trick, which might take a tiny bit more time, but is very effective, is to read your cover letter backwards. This gives you the opportunity and ensures that you read every single word alone and avoids you brushing over words in a sentence and not seeing your spelling mistakes. So spend some time making sure your spellings are perfect. There are no errors. There should be no excuse really for having any typos in your cover letter. So spend some time ensuring it's perfect, because a bad spelling error is a major red flag for a recruiter and most likely will hurt your chances. So these 4 tips help a recruiter maximize their efficiency when screening cover letters. It lets them quickly identify which cover letters are worth reading and which to discard. If they see bad formatting, red flag. Spelling errors, red flag. Essays 3 pages long, they won't even read it. If it's anything non-specific to the esteemed company and my skills match your vacancy, another red flag, they won't waste their time. They're trained to spot these tips and these pointers that let them know which CVs or which cover letters to discard and which to read more. Now, if you want to know more about cover letters in detail and what to write in them, we've done a full episode on this that you can catch right here. Thank you for watching this week's episode of Bayt.com's Career Talk. I hope that was useful and helps you maximize your chances with the applications that you send out. As always, new episodes every week. Make sure to subscribe to us here on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram for the latest updates, and I'll see you all next week.